Have you ever wondered what it's like to hold more money than entire countries? Imagine waking up each morning knowing you could spend $1 million a day for over 6 centuries and still not run out of funds. That's the kind of wealth Elon Musk has built. Some call him the ultimate innovator. Others see him as a controversial figure who moves too fast. Either way, he's impossible to ignore. Behind the eye-popping sums and influential projects is a story that's equal parts ambition, risk-taking, and mystery. Today, we're peeling back the layers of Elon Musk's journey. From his rough childhood in South Africa to the lavish heights that catapulted him into global headlines. By the end, you might see him as a rebel genius carving a new path, or you might question the moves that made him a multi-billionaire. Young Elon Musk didn't always look like someone poised to dominate tech and space exploration. He grew up in Pretoria, South Africa, at a time when personal computers were still novel. His home life took a sharp turn when his parents divorced, and he ended up living with his father. The relationship wasn't always smooth, and that tension pushed him inward. Then came the relentless bullying at school, which was so severe that he once landed in the hospital. But in the midst of this turmoil, he discovered programming. At just 10 years old, he taught himself to code. Using whatever resources he could find, programming became more than a hobby. It was his escape from a world he found harsh, and it offered a way to channel his relentless curiosity. By age 12, he'd managed to sell a simple video game called Blaster for $500, more than many kids his age could even fathom at the time. Some might say this was a small sum, but to a child who felt isolated and misunderstood, it was a sign of what he could accomplish with just a computer and his own willpower. When he turned 17, Musk took a leap and left South Africa for Canada, partly to avoid certain obligations at home. Arriving in North America opened new doors. He began building the foundation for a global career, starting at Queen's University before eventually transferring to the University of Pennsylvania. This period was a major turning point. Surrounded by fresh ideas, he found validation for his ambitious streak, and it was about to get even more interesting because the seeds of his first big venture were already taking root. But that wasn't the whole story. When people talk about Elon Musk's overnight successes, they often skip the details of his early startups. After college, Musk enrolled at Stanford for a PhD in applied physics. 2 days later, he dropped out, sensing the internet boom was calling his name. Along with his brother Kimball, he used $28,000 from their father to launch Zip2, an online city guide at a time when the web was little more than a digital frontier. Competitors said it was a gamble. Investors saw potential, but not everyone was convinced. Musk's stubborn drive pushed him to work endless hours, sleeping in the office and showering at a local gym. Zip2 got attention when major newspapers began seeing it as a way to bring their listings and local information into the digital age. Soon, the venture sold for more than $300 million. But for Elon, that was just the start. Next came X.com, an online banking service that merged with Confinity to form PayPal. Here, Musk faced rumored power struggles, with some insiders speculating that he clashed over the technical direction and brand identity. Despite the friction, PayPal soared, changing how people moved money online. When it sold to eBay, Musk's share catapulted him into a new stratosphere of wealth. At this point, the typical entrepreneur might have retired to a beach, but Musk was already thinking bigger. PayPal was about financial revolution, but his next moves would target industries deemed too big, too old, or too complicated to disrupt. Bold as it was, Elon Musk was just getting started, and what happened next would shock everyone. Space travel was once the domain of superpower, funded by governments with near limitless budgets. Musk believed private companies could do it cheaper and more efficiently. Critics laugh, but he founded SpaceX in 2002 with the bold vision to make humans a multi-planetary species. Early rockets exploded embarrassingly on the launch pad, leading many to assume SpaceX would crash and burn. But after multiple setbacks, the Falcon 1 finally reached orbit. NASA then granted them lucrative contracts, and the company progressed to create the Falcon 9 and the reusable Falcon Heavy. The world watched in awe when these rockets landed upright, something critics said was impossible. Yet controversies kept pace with the success. Questions arose over the workload put on employees. Accusations surfaced about intense deadlines and high staff turnover. Musk's obsession with speed and innovation seemed unstoppable, sometimes overshadowing safety concerns. Then came Tesla, an electric car venture that promised to revolutionize the auto industry. Traditional automakers initially snickered, doubting the viability of a stylish electric car that could go toe-to-toe with luxury brands. But Musk proved them wrong when Tesla's Roadster captured imaginations, and subsequent models accelerated Tesla to global fame. Still, The road was far from smooth. Tesla's autopilot system drew scrutiny after multiple incidents. Some blamed user error, while others wondered if the technology had been deployed too soon. Whistleblowers claimed corners were cut in production, yet the company's stock soared, making Musk's net worth balloon. The controversies became as public as the accolades, leaving people to wonder, was this unstoppable momentum worth the risks? But that wasn't the only unexpected turn. In an era when billionaires hold more sway than entire governments, Musk's political entanglements naturally raise eyebrows. While he's voiced opinions across the political spectrum, many recall how he sat on certain advisory councils during Donald Trump's presidency. Observers questioned whether his alignment with Trump could yield special benefits, such as favorable policies for SpaceX or Tesla. He eventually stepped away from these councils after disagreements on some issues. The notion that he might have reaped advantages persisted. Rumors floated that during the Trump administration, Musk navigated regulatory frameworks more easily for his ambitious projects. Whether these rumors stand on solid ground or are simply the product of envious critics remains debated. Still, his frequent mention of a freer market approach resonated with certain politicians. His push for cleaner energy kept him popular among more progressive groups. Combination of space exploration, electric cars, and tech synergy made him a peculiar figure, bridging both sides of a polarized environment. In the end, what truly drove Elon Musk's political involvements is still somewhat elusive. Is it purely about business, or was there a deeper ideological vision? Either way, his connections to high-ranking officials stirred conversations about how billionaires could shape policy to their advantage. The public drama didn't stop at politics. Musk's personal realm offered enough twists to fill entire tabloids, and the next part would reveal a side less talked about. While Elon Musk's business triumphs often dominate the headlines, his private life has generated just as much fascination. He's been married more than once, and he shares children with different partners. One of his more public relationships involved musician Grimes, with whom he welcomed a child named XAE12, later renamed slightly for legal reasons. This sparked a storm of memes and speculation online, with people questioning if Musk's eccentric personality was bleeding over into his family choices. Some anecdotes suggest that Musk maintains an intense schedule, juggling fatherhood with a staggering workload at his companies. Critics wonder if the children see enough of him. Still, many describe him as a loving father, albeit one who invests more mental energy into engineering breakthroughs than mundane home routine. Rumors swirl about family disputes and complicated dynamics involving his father, Elon Musk, who apparently had children with his stepdaughter. Elon has publicly stated his estranged relationship with Errol, citing multiple reasons that remain somewhat opaque. These relationships paint a more complex picture than the genius CEO narrative. Billionaire or not, personal struggles and drama abound. But for every piece of gossip about his family, there's a matching headline about his extravagant spending or philanthropic gestures. Wait until you hear about the lavish side. Word travels fast about Elon Musk's luxurious lifestyle choices, but the reality is a jumble of contradictions. He once owned multiple properties in Bel Air, eventually selling off many of them in a move he described as an attempt to simplify his life. Then there were the rumors of a private jet, fueling talk that his carbon footprint was at odds with Tesla's green mission. Some have claimed that he picks up lavish toys on a whim, though details often remain murky. Meanwhile, Musk has publicly declared that he doesn't even own a permanent home anymore, couch surfing at friends' places or staying in a tiny prefab near the SpaceX facility in Texas. But rumors persist that he still enjoys all the perks of a world-class billionaire, including hosting opulent gatherings or spontaneously traveling to exotic locales. Contradictions fuel endless debate. Is he downplaying his wealth as a PR stunt? Or is he genuinely uninterested in material possessions beyond his groundbreaking ventures? Sprinkled within these stories are glimpses of philanthropic efforts, like donations to help with clean water initiatives or direct support for education. Yet critics say these contributions pale in comparison to his towering fortune. Regardless of which perspective you believe, Musk's lifestyle remains a mosaic of big spending, strategic image building, and unpredictability. But his personal brand took another major twist when he decided to delve into the social media scene. Few moves in recent tech history created as much uproar as Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. What began with him tweeting critiques about the platform's policies escalated into a full-blown bid to buy it. This wasn't just an ordinary acquisition. It felt like a very public wrestling match, complete with sudden twists. One day, the deal was on. The next day, he threatened to back out. Then it was back on again. By the time he took control, employees were bracing for sweeping changes. Some got them in the form of mass layoffs, abrupt shifts to verification practices, and unpredictable new directions for content moderation. Celebrities and politicians joined in fiery debates about free speech, with some leaving the platform entirely. Musk's fans applauded him for challenging tech norms, while detractors accused him of turning Twitter into a personal playground. Indeed, his public spats with high-profile figures became headline news, as his tweets occasionally moved markets, triggered controversies, or ignited comedic memes. All of this seemed to dovetail with Musk's overarching theme: pushing boundaries, stoking debate, and thriving in chaos. As for what's next, there's persistent talk of colonizing Mars, installing advanced brain implants through his company Neuralink, and pioneering technology to help solve major global issues. Will these endeavors transform humanity, or could they lead us down a path of unforeseen complications? Based on his track record, Elon Musk will keep surprising us. Conclusion. So, who is Elon Musk really? A modern-day Da Vinci with an iron will, or a provocateur who courts risk with little regard for the fallout? His story weaves a tapestry of resilience, triumph, and controversy. On one hand, he's revolutionized spaceflight and redefined electric vehicles, giving humanity fresh dreams of interplanetary travel. On the other hand, swirling rumors, accusations, and dramatic decisions paint him as a figure who thrives on the edge of scandal. From a bullied kid in Pretoria to a billionaire who reportedly can't burn through his fortune in multiple lifetimes, Elon Musk stands as a living testament to human potential and its pitfalls. If he fascinates you, you're not alone. If he unsettles you, you're hardly the first. Perhaps the big takeaway is this: transformative visions often come with turbulent journeys, and the boundary between genius and reckless behavior can be razor thin. Will Elon Musk steer us toward new frontiers of innovation? Or will his restless ambition spark dilemmas too complex to contain? That's for each of us to decide. One thing is for sure: wherever Elon Musk goes next, the world will be watching, and he'll almost certainly have something astonishing up his sleeve.